And this goes to believers. Most of us will be praying, lie down in the house, praying, lock ourselves up. No. Faith without work is dead. When you pray, your faith, the first atom or element of faith you invest is to leave the house. You leave the house. Somebody new always teach them. It frowns against graduates laying down in the house, waiting for miracles. Staying in the compound, everybody will go, oh yeah, they will give you key. Stay, watch after the compound. No. You have to go out there. Where am I going to go out? Any cycle here that I belong to today. Like again, family, church, office, compound, streets, anywhere I am caught up in the midst of something, there are places planted to pull me out, down to my community. Yes, I can't be caught up in strange crisis. It's not possible. It's not possible because I made it, something that, yes, humans are wired to be selfish, but I insisted. I told myself, Oga, this selfishness will not get you anywhere. You are not wired like others. Once you find purpose, every other thing around your life, you know how to order things. Immediately I discovered that this is a pathway. And I've looked at people that did the same thing I'm doing, and I have seen where life brought them at the end of the day. I told myself, this is a beautiful pathway. It's going to take time, but it's going to bring results, massive results.
Welcome back to another series of Emmy's Discovery, and on today we're going to be doing something extremely different. This is a channel where we try to impact people outside the world, young people from Nigeria to Africa, from Africa to the world. So thank you so much for returning subscribers, and for new subscribers, it's a great joy to tell you that you are actually in the right channel, because here we share stories, life experience from different people of different fields that helps to share value to you. And I'm just so happy to have you on this channel. So please do well to click on that subscribe button, also like, and also share to everyone that needs such videos, because I know it's going to actually bless. It's going to actually bless. So please, let's get right into the video. Our today's guest is someone that is very, very exciting. He's a profound teacher, a coach, a man with so many strategies to life, and which you don't want to actually miss out on each section of this video, because it's already exciting as we have. So please, ladies and gentlemen, join me as I welcome our guest, Mr. Collins Nesiayali. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, Amy.
Thank you.
Here.
Welcome,
it's a pleasure, a very big pleasure. Thank you
so much. Yes. I've had you on my show. I wanted to say that I've had you on my show before.
Serious?
Yeah. I was in a woman form.
Okay.
It was his wife I had on my show, and which was
my better half.
Yes, that session was something else, and the views just kept coming, many reactions, and I trust God that this one is going to be a blast.
Yeah,
what a woman can do, trust me, a man can do it. A man can do better. So let's get right into it. There are so many sections. Know when the food is actually sweet, you don't know where you actually want to pick from. This side of the food is looking delicious, the other side, that's the same way I'm looking at your story right now, and I don't know where to pick from, but let's start from your humble beginnings. I would like to start from your humble beginnings. So how was it for you growing up? How was the experience for you
coming up? Okay, thank you so much, Amy, and thank you so much, our viewers. Okay, first and foremost, it's good I let you know that I'm from Okala.
Wow.
Oshimili North Local Government, Delta State. So if you know about Oshimili North very well, you know that here is a place that you don't see it as a big city. So I grew up in a very nice locality, a very friendly locality at that one. Yes, basically we do farm work and all that. That is where I grew up. But I also grew up in a very wonderful family. So growing up was quite smooth, in as much as the issue of poverty here and there was never. I had parents that were caring, parents that were loving, and as a matter of fact also, it's good to point out that in the marriage, I was just like the first child of the union. Yes, the attention was there, There's accounts open my mouth to say that my father didn't take care of me or my mother didn't take care of me. The attention was there 120%.
Yeah.
My father is a teacher. My mom is also a housewife, but very helpful one at that. But her duty was to make sure that we didn't go out of course.
Of course.
Be it God's cause, social cause, that we don't go out of course. So the beginning, I can say it's very nice. It's very nice. It's not that I had all I wanted or all I see my mates have, but I thank God for what my parents were able to give to me. I'm very happy about it.
No, it's one thing for you to actually have supportive parents that will go all the way for you. So will you say your parents were kind of supportive to you in their own capacity?
Yes, in their own capacity. They were very, very supportive. My father was always there, my mom was always there.
Wow.
So I have no reason to. And when I finished my primary school, I was moved down to join my uncle, who is a pastor for my secondary school education. So where my parents stopped, the man continued from there. So coming up as a child, it was a smooth one. It was smooth. I was exposed to the church, Christianity, and all that at a very tender age. So it was a very nice one. It was a very nice transition from the village down to another village known as Ela, where I did my secondary school. Then from there to school. So we find out that the whole package, as a young child, was in the hand of capable persons. Yes, from my parents down to my uncle, who was not just an uncle but a pastor. Yes.
He just guided you through. Did you engage into farming?
Yes. In case if there's anybody from my village watching this podcast, I joined my parents in farm work. They didn't keep me like stay at home as baby of the house or whatsoever. No, I joined them in the farm work. I was always with my father. Sometimes after school, I connect to them in the farm. So when I grew up a bit, I learned from my friends in the village how to hunt.
Okay.
Yes, so I was just so good at killing games. All manner of traps I can set it till tomorrow. Wow. I can set it. Yes, I have those techniques. And it's one thing is to set.
Do you plan on teaching your son?
No, I wouldn't do that.
Now you think you're
wrong. I won't teach my children that. One thing is to set trap. Another thing in my place. One thing is to set those things. Another thing is to have the lock. So my grandfather was a hunter. Wow. My dad don't like setting traps. He's a farmer, but he doesn't fancy that. But I took to my grandfather. So the kind of games I kill are unique ones. Wow. I kill all manner of strange animals. So my grandfather normally say that this one is taken after me. Wow. So I grew up. I know how to do farm work till tomorrow. Wow. I even have a little garden in my place.
So wonderful. Okay, so moving on. Definitely, there are some certain people that they tend to find themselves, this is who I am. Maybe before school, before they get into the university, or in the university, maybe due to mingling of friends, or even after university, you tend to find out that you discovered yourself by this, maybe your values, who you are, what you actually want for yourself. So when exactly did you find yourself? Was it before you stepped into the 4 Walls University, in the 4 Walls University, or even after university?
Okay, my own course was quite late.
Okay.
In school, so many persons will be like, we call him say that he didn't find himself in school. But you even led in campus as a campus fellowship leader, and you did 1 or 2 things in school, helped push 1 or 2 things. I was also in school politics and all that. But the truth was that all those things I was doing them randomly, because other persons were doing them. I actually found myself during my youth service.
Wow.
And it was quite late. So imagine if someone is watching this and you are 17, 18, and you already know the course where your life is going to. You are very lucky. I tell you, I graduated from school not knowing the next move of my life, of my destiny. Wow. I just do my thing, make sure I go to school, make sure I take my exam, make sure I pass. But when I found where my life was tilting towards, I noticed that it's a different thing to go to school and a different thing to find purpose. As a matter of fact, somebody might not even go to school and discover purpose and live well. I normally mention whenever I discuss with the young ones, I normally mention this man called Chores. He didn't graduate from any 4 walls of the university, but he discovered something about himself. He gave time to it and he worked towards it. And today, he's one of the biggest men you can mention in this country. So you find out that going to school is not really finding yourself. I found myself during my service. And maybe some other questions can help me, give me the opportunity to expatiate on what I mean exactly. So anybody that knew me, maybe you are watching this and you knew me during school, you knew me, that was not really the life I wanted to live. Those things were doing things because others were doing it. Right from both in campus fellowship, both be it good, be it bad, be it the ugly, it was just doing because other persons were doing.
So we will ascribe those times as a waste of time for you.
They were learning curve. I can call them a learning curve because most of the experiences I had those times helped me when I discovered my purpose on earth. Okay. Yes, those experiences, they are still gainful today. Many mistakes made, many lessons learned. So if you don't make mistakes, you won't learn lessons, of course. So all things works together for our good. That is where we end it.
True. Yeah. Thank you so much. So everybody has a driving force. For some people, just like you mentioned, you were kind of going to school because I have to go to school, I have to take in the lectures, I have to do certain things. And for some people of this our generation, be like, okay, let me just go to school, let me just to make mama proud or something like that. But for you now, even now you have discovered yourself. What's your driving force to life? What keeps you going?
Okay, like I said before, I said that I wish I would have a second chance to expatiate. Okay, a time during my youth service, I served in Enugu. I had this urge to serve in Enugu without knowing why. I was sent to KB, I redeployed to Enugu. One of my uncle that helped me was like, if we send you back to Enugu, that the only space remaining in Enugu is at the interior, the villages, that the whole town in Enugu, that they were filled up, they were all occupied. So I said, okay, fine, send me to Enugu. That's it. It's my intention to serve in Enugu. The man was like, do you know anybody in Enugu? I said, no. Have you been to Enugu? I said, no. Just send me to Enugu. The man sent me to Enugu. And lo and behold, I served in one of the villages, Kano West precisely. Obe is the name of the village. So when I got there, one Sunday morning, I didn't go to church. That time I go to church the day I like. It's not like now that you see me in church every day. I go to church the day I like. One of those days I didn't go to church. I was just at home doing my thing, So I started having thoughts, what we can call reflection, what we can call sober reflection, or whatever I want to call it. I started having those thoughts. What do you think you're doing with your life? What is even the meaning of your names? I think my name gave me a beautiful course about where I'm going to. If you check my Facebook bio, you'll find out that I mentioned everything that has to do with my name in my bio. Now my name is Ogugua in Igbo, son of consolation. My English name is Collins. It means victory to the people. So anything I am doing, that was the day I took it to myself. Oh, no wonder. When it's people's fights, I'm always there. When it's time to help people, I'm always there. When it's time to make sure that somebody succeeds, even at the detriment of my own success, I'm always there. So I said, oh, could this be? I would say, maybe I need to give time to this. So that moment, I started becoming intentional about helping people. Immediately I became intentional about helping the young ones, helping adults, helping any age group. Everything about my life starts snowballing to success. Now you ask the question, what has been my driving force? My driving force is to see people do well. I believe if we are 5 in this room and the 5 of us are doing well, I am already in order. I'm already in order. There is no way I can help 5 persons to become who they want to be, and 2 persons will not remember you. So it's like transactional. I understand who I am. I transact it. I give it. I make sure that people around me get better. I can never be a problem to anybody. Everybody who's watching this podcast, family, friends, church members, colleagues in the office, I am nobody's problem. And I'm not an enemy to anybody. I make sure I contribute reasonably into your life, so that at the end of the day, when it's time for my lifting, there will be plenty of voices speaking for me. That is how I live my life. So it's transactional, and I say it, I don't regret it. I don't hide under the church to do what I do. I do what I do, knowing that what I'm doing is a seed that I must reap from. So I sow the best, so that I can get the best outcome.
That's wise. That's wise. Saying that you are able to just impact people, and in return you just get the lifting and all of that. But what you are doing is actually, I feel it demands a lot, and it demands a high sense of selflessness. Because man originally is selfish. It's wired to be selfish. So seeing that you are able to just deny yourself just to make sure that other people are in a better position, how do you go about that?
Okay, thank God that we are making this video while I'm still quite young. You can't say now that I've achieved 50% of what I desire to achieve. And it's going to be a reference point next 10 years. So, if I had made this video when I have cars, jeeps parked outside there, 2 houses in Abuja, one in the village, it will look as if it don't make money and I make a talk like this. So I'm saying it as someone who is still building what I'm building. I'm saying it as someone who is still intentionally laying foundation of the house he wants to build. We are going to revisit these videos sometime. And I'm saying it to also be a blessing to people that chooses this path. This path is a very narrow one. It's a path people don't want to go. Like you mentioned, everybody is running a race for himself. We will normally have a slogan out there, all man for himself. People want to be self-centered. But we've also seen that and see where it took so many persons. People, if you want to run fast, like they always say you should, I don't know how they used to put it, either run alone or whatever. But I've seen people that ran alone. And when they get caught up in the midst of trouble, nobody is there to fall to. I tell you, any cycle that I belong to today, like again, family, church, office, compound, street, anywhere I am caught up in the midst of something, there are persons planted to pull me out, down to my community. Yes, I can't be caught up in strange crisis. It's not possible. It's not possible because I made it, something that, yes, humans are wired to be selfish, but I insisted. I told myself, Oga, this selfishness will not get you anywhere. You are not wired like others. Once you find purpose, every other thing around your life, you know how to order things. Immediately I discovered that this is a pathway. And I've looked at people that did the same thing I'm doing, and I have seen where life brought them at the end of the day. I told myself, this is a beautiful pathway. It's going to take time, but it's going to bring results. Massive results. Because you get to a point where you can never fall again. Because you've been able to raise everything around you up. And once everything around you is up, you can never fall. It's just normal thing about life. So I don't stop. And I don't do it because I'm being compelled to. Wherever I find myself, I don't do it as eye service in the office. I don't do it as claiming to be the most righteous in the church. I don't do it to claim to be the best father in the house. I do it because it is worth doing, and I'm doing it because I know that there is a reward. And when you are planting something, knowing that you're going to reap from it, you want to plant the best. Okay, so that is it. There is no fear. There's no fear. Once purpose is clear, my people, where there is no vision, the people are cast off restraint. When there is no purpose, if you don't know the purpose of a thing, abuse becomes inevitable. But once you know the purpose of something, you don't want to abuse that thing because you know what you're doing. That is where we are.
That's deep. Okay, so moving forward in your journey, you mentioned a while ago, you said from our previous conversation prior to this time, you said that it took you 8 years to actually get your certificate working for you.
For me, yes.
In one word, can you describe those 8 years and also walk us through the journey?
Okay, I'll say patient. I think that is the best word to use to describe that 8 years. You said I should walk the viewers and through the journey. Okay, I graduated 2015. I did accounting in school, so I graduated 2015. I wanted to work like every other person, and I strived to get one. I don't want to mention the people I sent CV to. I don't want to mention them. Why I wouldn't mention them is that it's nobody's problem whether you succeed or not. I have never blamed any human being for anything that comes or happens in my life. I take full responsibility about my life. And the people will say it, that the reason why this generation always suffer crisis is because nobody wants to take responsibility. It's always your uncle, it's always my auntie, it's always my brother. He doesn't want me to succeed, he didn't help me, he didn't give me that, he didn't give me this. I didn't want to live my life that way, and I don't want my children to also live their life that way. So what happened was, after my service, I insisted on staying back in Enugu. Actually, I stayed 6 years after my service in Enugu. From 2016, that I went to Enugu for my youth service, down to 2023 February.
Wow.
I stayed all those years, 6 years plus in Enugu. So those period was something else. I did some job. The first place I worked was the first place I met my wife. I learned a whole lot of lessons there. I have learned good lessons. There are lessons that I also learned that I wouldn't want, to apply in life. But there are many things I learned. One of the best gifts I got from that first place was my wife. She was a good friend in the place of work. Then when I left there, I had to start hustling with friends. In fact, I did so many things. So I went to Calabar to get, to try out something. It didn't work. Even then, me and one of my friends, we tried doing DJ work in one hotel. It didn't work. I ran back to Enugu, connected with my friend Sammy, who was serving in Enugu, Anambra State. Stayed there try to start up something there. It didn't work. I went back to Enugu again. Then that was when I met Redeem. Redeem. That was 2018. I mean, these 2 years that I just summarized was like 30 years. I mean, these were 2 years of disappointment, 2 years of hunger, 2 years of you don't even have clue of where you are heading to. Everybody in your life, it looks as if everybody just turned off their floodlights. You are just in darkness. You're on your own. Nobody's. There are some persons I will call this period who are well positioned, related to us. They won't take my call again. These were persons that were giving me high hope, graduates. Like I said, I don't blame them till today, because like I mentioned before, all things works together for good. Maybe today they would have been like, if it were not in me. It's not as if we've gotten to where we are, but in those pains we found a way, we found paths, we found pathways, and we found purpose. So in a nutshell, for the 6 years, I have patience. I started a business after wasting those 2 years. I started a business in 2018, a laundry outlet in Enugu, a very nice one. We started small, we started growing, so we did that. I married doing that business. So while I was doing that business, I also started becoming very active in the church. Becoming very, very active. This one was not like that type that because I was staying in my uncle's house, I must go to church. It wasn't because my family will ask me, didn't you go to church? This one church became the only way out. It became the only solution. There is nobody to cry to. It's only God you cry to. It came to that point that I turned left, there was no way. Turn right, there was no way. It was only God. So I have to hold him well. Because if I didn't hold him well, I tell you today, maybe I would still be on the streets. Maybe I would have been so frustrated that I would be doing unimaginable things on the streets. So I turned to God fully, dropped every single thing I held dear, and faced God. As I was trusting God with my spiritual life, I was also working in the church. Physically, I was active in the church. God led me, helped me. I became the youth president from there. I became the church admin. So I was working part-time as a church admin. So in the morning, I moved to my business area, worked till maybe around 1, 2. Then I report back in the church, stay in the church from that 1 to till 9, 8, 9 in the night. I got married, the routine continued. It wasn't easy handling that routine with my wife, but I had to explain to her, this is the only way out. Till we left Enugu in 2023. Just a few days before the governorship election, that was when we came back. That has been our routine. So it was a long journey. Again, after that 2 years that I said it was like 30 years. These 4 years remaining is also like 60 years. So I just wrapped everything up for the sense that we are having a podcast. But the truth is that, I needed to be patient. So many invitations were going on. So many of my friends were saying, do this now, let me put out for this, and we will do this. So many things was going on. All the vices you see in the society didn't start today. So there were other negative options, but I chose to stay with the positive options. I knew so many investments have been made in my life spiritually, and I didn't want to fail. I didn't want to waste it. I wanted to be part of those persons you can look at tomorrow and say that these ones waited, they trusted in God, and God did not fail them. And that's what I did.
Wow. Powerful, deep. It has been wonderful. It was wonderful, and we're not going anywhere. So just stay right in. After the break, we'll be back and we'll see you shortly.
Hello, viewers. My name is Collins Ogugua Nesiayali. I'd like you to continue watching His Discovery. In this discovery, in this very podcast, you see so many life stories that are very awesome that can help you, walk through your journey in life. I want you to stay tuned, like and share every video. Let's encourage them.
Alright guys, welcome back from the break, and we are almost coming to an end of this video, and I trust me, I don't want it to end anytime soon, but every good thing that has a beginning surely has an end. So let's hit the gear back into the video. Okay, so Mr. Collins, I know you have already talked about it a bit from before we went on for the break. You talked about how you left from Enugu coming down to Delta State, but I see that as a very difficult decision, and I don't see it as something that you were just like, oh, you were happy to take this decision. I'm going to
Delta State. Made friends, build contacts,
yeah,
you have a business,
you have a system running.
Yes.
So how did you take in that decision?
Okay, the decision, when God wants to move someone, and definitely if you have a relationship with Him, it comes to you first. I believe so. He shows you. When you ignore it, it can come through family. When you continue ignoring it, it can come through friends, probably pastors and those around you. And when you continue ignoring it, it can use circumstances to trigger events. That is my belief about how my God works. And probably that is, something that has come based on our work as a family with God. Okay, when I settled down in Enugu, when I got married in 2020, I knew that sooner or later I'll have to leave Enugu. But I never believed it would be back to Asaba. There were other places in mind. Though we never discussed it. We never discussed it as couples. But 2022. That's a year before we relocated. The events started unfolding. I told my wife that I think it's time for us to leave. But I didn't make any move. I was just saying it. I didn't make any move. So my wife had a revelation to that effect. But again, we were always considering what we have at hand. My wife has a good job then in Enugu. I was almost doing very okay. I had my own business running. I had one or two persons helping me, assisting me with my business. Then I also, have the church, which is already like my family. I have good friends, contacts, and all that there. Where we are staying, there is no problem at all. That's early 2022. Before, in the East, we had issue with this sit at home and all that. So when we refused to leave, even after the revelation, even after the prompting of the Holy Spirit, even after the whole thing, the issue of insecurity started becoming sit at home here. Sometimes we'll have 1 week staying at home and all that. So even my family in Delta here, they became worried. My parents would talk, my senior brother would talk, my friend, one of my very good friends here in Asaba, and brother would talk. They'd be like, do and come back. So the pressure started coming from a standard. If the pressure was coming from people and there was no conviction, we wouldn't have moved. But because there was already conviction that time was up, so it was easy. I met my pastor, I discussed with him, we said prayers, and the most painful part of it was that the Holy Spirit ministered to me that I should leave my business, there, which was very painful. Leave the business is not leave it there and come and set up another one here. Leave it there and don't set up another one. It was painful. This was all I've lived from. I've not worked for anybody as at then. In fact, I was making my money, go to work when I like, stay at home when I like, It was like a small big man. I was doing my thing. So when we came back to Asaba, so we started, arranging, transitioning from one place to another is very difficult. I'm not exalting what we did, because people leave Nigeria and travel outside the country and they survive. But everybody have their own pathways. Everybody have their own experience. Gathering money to get a house here was not funny. Making all those arrangements and coming down here and starting up here
again.
Don't do the business was the first order. I had opportunities where people offered me, I can give you a shop, I can give you this one so that you can start up with. I said I'm not going to do it. So what exactly do you want to do? Did your parents keep any job in Asaba? I just wanted something different for myself. I know I have this capability to be in a place and connect with the high and mighty. I wanted that opportunity. I wanted to serve and use true service, serve my way to the top. I knew it was a possibility. I've seen these are I have prototypes of people who have walked through that way. So I got into Asaba. My first 8 months in Asaba, there was no job. Literally, my wife got a job, I think 2 months after we entered. and she started, helping the family. Then I had good contacts, people that I had goodwill. I used to mention it to youth. Make sure that people are owing you goodwill. Goodwill in accounting, we that did accounting, is something that is transactional. If a company is owing your company goodwill, you can give that company discount in goods you want to. That's the basic for somebody that doesn't understand accounting.
Yeah.
I am Coca-Cola, you are Pepsi. You are owing me goodwill. Maybe you needed some bottles from me, customized bottles. Maybe I'm the one that supplies you that. Okay, based on previous relationship, whenever you make an order, you pay, and whenever you promise to pay on certain dates, you pay. You meet up that. Date. That's goodwill. You have established a relationship. So I know the importance of goodwill. Whenever we have a discussion, when I have a discussion with my father, and we face disappointment, maybe I face disappointment, I'm having a discussion with my father, I'll tell them, don't worry. Maybe it's because this person is not owing us goodwill. Yes. Goodwill is something you invest that someone unintentionally, unwillingly, the person, there is no written agreement anywhere, but the person knows that he's indebted to you. You are not feeling that the person is indebted to you, but you have this feeling that if I call on this person, based on my rapport, the person will respond to you. So I survived that 8 months with goodwill. Wow. People that have invested into their life by organizing prayers, people that have invested into their life by teaching, people that have invested into their life by being there for them in their marriages, in their time of trouble, any aspect of their life.
You were always there.
Yes. So that 8 months wasn't as difficult as it ought to be. And still in that 8 months, I started serving in the church. Immediately we got to Asaba, the first week we got in contact with the church. I told my wife, we're not going to do big church again. We are coming from average church. Now we're going to look for a small church that we can just walk in and walk out. My wife said, okay. We prayed after prayers. When you're in difficult time, prayers becomes everyday thing for you.
Yeah, true.
We are praying around the clock. Fasting was natural because there was no enough food in the house, so we were compelled to fast. Yes, we are fasting. So every time we actually spiritually inclined, our antennas were actually very sharp. When you are in those moments, you pick signals. So my wife walked out from the house one day, went to the market. As she was coming back, she said that God told her that we're going to start worshiping in King of Righteousness, where I met you. Fortunately, that's Redeemed Christian Church of God. So that very parish. So we said, okay, that's fine. I said, let's go give it a try. But that church is a big church. I told her, I don't want trouble. I don't want stress. My own is just to walk. I want to put my life in shape. My wife said, let's go. So we resumed in that church. First Sunday, after first Sunday, I just answered questions during the youth Sunday school. And the next one, the pastor, he has never seen us. I refused to take transfer letter so that they will not know the capacity I had in my former church. So I refused to do anything. The pastor and maybe he noticed that we are vibrant during the youth Sunday school class. He said that my wife should go upstairs and go and teach teenagers. My wife used to be the head of children department where we are coming from. Yet we hid all those credentials and kept quiet. So I was also, I've handled capacity with so many positions with the youth. So the pastor said, go up, go and take the youth. Or maybe also he saw my youth manner. Our youth manner is quite different. So I went up, taught the youth. That was how the journey started. They started giving me announcement, they started making announcement. It was one of those days, as I was just dropping my duty, I just did announcement, as I was just coming down, I met the current person that I'm working under. It was like, who are you? You are new in this church? I said, yes. What do you do for a living? I said, not, I don't get job. I'm this kind of person, I'm very expressive, and I do my thing because I know that my mouth can set you free. Your tongue can kill you and it can also set you free. It's just about where you speak and what you say. And I don't have a job. I was like, okay, just put down your name. That was how I penned down my name. Something may come up. When that thing eventually came up, he called me and told me that something came up, but that thing is very small. You may not like it. Just hold on so that the bigger one will come. I said, no, even if it's small, I want to be part of it. So from February till December 8, 2023, when I went for my interview, God favored me. It happened to be that before I got the opportunity to go for the interview, I used to go and meet him to help him out in the office. Okay. So for like 2 months, I've been in and out of the office. helping them out, free job. Whenever I'm free, I go to the office, pull out 1 or 2 things with them, go back. Sometimes I go there to pass time instead of staying at home praying. And this goes to believers. Most of us will be praying, lie down in the house, praying, lock ourselves up. No. Faith without work is dead. When you pray, your faith, the first atom or element of faith you invest is to leave the house. You leave the house. Somebody always teach them. It frowns against graduates laying down in the house, waiting for miracles. Staying in the compound, everybody will be going, they will give you key. Stay, watch after the compound over here. No. You have to go out there. Where am I going to? Go out. When you leave the house, you'll find something. You'll find a place to stay. Even if it's to charge the phone, stay there, be getting information. That was how I was going out to that very place. And the day the interview came, the person that interviewed me, I don't want to mention names, but I've mentioned names. The man that interviewed me happened to be the person that had been seeing me actively involved. But when they were supplying the chairs, the tables, the set of furniture that we are using today in the office, I was helping them offloading. You will not even believe that I've written jam all my life. I was helping them lifting chairs upstairs, doing all manner of things. When the man saw me, he looked at me and said, "You're here for interview?" I said yes. He almost started laughing because I wouldn't know. Maybe he didn't even believe that I've been to school. I'm always, So he said, "Sit down." I sat down. He interviewed me. That was how we started. Every other thing in between is between me and the company, but we are there, and God is faithful. I can say it today. You see, the transition has to do with God saying go. The transition has to do with you believing that even where there is nothing, that God can create something. The transition has to do with even when God has said go, you yourself needs to leave. You needs to make a move. You don't just go to the location and keep mute in the location. The Bible said that Isaac planted in the land. Remember, before even Isaac planted, it was God that told him to stay back. He wanted to move to Egypt where there were fertile land and greener pastures. God says, stay back in the land. In that land where he stayed, by the land of the Philistines, which is even a strange land, by the way, he planted there. And the Bible said that the people there began to envy him. Imagine when God said, don't move, stay back. And they sat down. He didn't invest. He didn't do anything. He didn't move. He didn't plant. There wouldn't have been any result. So even under God's instruction, there is a place for a human's duty. And this is why people blame the church. People come and say, the church, this one, the church, this one. Anytime I see people blaming the church, what they do is that they expect miracles. And even our Bible says that it's children that are always hungry of miracles. There are principles. When you get to church, make sure you get your hands busy. As you are being busy, make sure you have integrity. And when you have integrity, eyes will see you. People are getting investment opportunities in the church. I know people that have left this country to find greener pastures in better countries in the world because of friends that they got from the church. I know what I'm saying. I'm so sure of that. People getting in touch with big companies, big business transactions based on integrity in the church. When people come with a mindset to come and fetch, they get disappointed. Anybody that you see that is talking down on the church, check very well. Most of them are disappointed because they came to church thinking that they want to come and read. You have to sow before you start thinking of reading. Yeah, that is the transition. So my wife, again, I have to mention it on this podcast. It's not a place we eulogize our family, but it's worth noting for the young ladies watching that she played a key role. She made the process almost seamless because she was working and she didn't hide it for hunger to kill me and our only child then, so she was helpful. I don't hijack her salary and I won't do that. But whenever it comes in, everybody in the house smiles. Even in our little, in our crying, in our prayers, we already know that there is a greeting space. At least we can eat something good, even if it's once a day or twice a day. So that was it.
That's deep and that's wonderful. Speaking about your wife, not all ladies will actually do what she has done. Kind of being selfless, just standing in that gap, because we see that a lot.
That's why Gege have set up university now for you don't invest in a woman, you don't do this. And so many youths are jumping into it. That is on a lighter note. Let me just cut you because I don't want us to go deep into that in this podcast. But the truth is that Our people used to say in our dialect that the hand you use to approach somebody, that will determine the hand the person will bring out to shake you. If you are coming to me and you are coming like this, I won't come like this. I will defend because I know you want to punch me. You know, when I'm coming like this, you want to stretch your hand to have a handshake because you know that this is a sign of handshake. This thing that they call marriage is about agreement. It's about understanding. Once understanding is not there, if you like speaking in the Holy Spirit, after speaking in tongues, you will quarrel. After quarreling, you will fight. After fighting, people around will say, "Shana, these people when they speak in tongues, they fight." So so that is why you see it even in our villages. You see people that we are not Christians having good homes.
Good homes. True.
It has nothing to do with praying. I'm telling anybody that cares to listen. Oh, the Holy Spirit is there to direct us, but how many Christians are even listening to the direction of the Holy Spirit? So back to what the role she played. She is also confident that if things turns well tomorrow, I'll not start sleeping outside. I'll not start hanging around with friends, not coming home. So she was making what she's doing, knowing the person that she was doing. If I had shown signs that I am not a good husband, I am not trustworthy, I'm always hanging around with babes outside, I drink and come back whenever I like, she won't do that. And if she doesn't do that, nobody should call her a bad person because I am not bringing a friendly handshake. But because over the 3 years we were at Enugu, I've proven beyond every reasonable doubt that I'm reasonable. It's not about bragging. It's about how anybody wants to choose to live. If you choose to live reasonably, people will know that you are living reasonably. Even you will know that you are living a reasonable life. And when you start sneaking around, you will know you are sneaking around. Even people around you, over time, they will start knowing that you are sneaking around. So, what you sow, like I said before, is what you end up getting. Life will always respond to what you invest to it. If you pick a lady, invest sincerity into her, invest integrity into her, invest genuine love into her, what you will reap is genuine love, sincerity, and integrity. Oh, somebody will ask, what about people when you go do everything for? Then they will turn around. That is where the Holy Spirit works. You ought to settle that before you marry that woman. It's not after marriage, because most persons marry who even their parents told them not to marry. Even their pastors, I have examples of people, pastors the way back in Enugu told don't marry this baby. They marry the person and they are expecting miracle inside marriage. When the order is not proper, when you are not in alignment from the beginning, if you invest, it will not yield. That is planting good seed in a soil that is not fertile. Even Bible said, I think in the Bible about that you should till up your fallow ground. Before you plant in a lady and start expecting something, you must make sure that this one, I've watched her, she really matches what I want.
Okay. Just the last question. It has been a wonderful time. Trust me, I don't want to let you go, but
no problem.
We have to call it a day. Okay, so if you were to go back in time, what would be that thing you actually want to do better? You wanted to change, and also moving forward, what is it that you are doing now that you just want to increase and just make it better?
Okay, if I should go back, one thing I would have loved to do better was, my 4 years in school, and my 1 year NYC service. I would have loved to do it better. Most of the prominent people we have in this country, their greatness started springing forth especially during their NYC days. If I have a second chance, I would have paid more attention to this. I was so distracted in school. I was just so distracted, so distracted. And like I said at the beginning, I'm not regretting them because I don't like looking at the past. I'm just within my 30s now, so if God has said I'm going to live 80 or 90, I have a whole lot of years ahead of me to make sure that maybe at my 40 I'm not regretting what I'm doing now. That is just me, but because of we have put it into context now, there is need to understand that when you are young, it is better that a man bears his yoke at his youth. 30 can be youth, but it's better you start bearing it earlier. For example, seeking to know why you're on earth. Imagine if I had gotten a clear vision of what I just told you that I did while I was ending my youth service. Imagine if I had gotten that while I was in school. I would have started running initiatives, start flying, I would have started blazing all that. Even maybe at the point of graduation, I might not even be seeking to do anything like a job.
Because you already have a clear
I already have a line, a clear path. So sometimes I sit and say, God, if I had known that I was this powerful. And I never knew that, that I can be powerful. That I am this powerful. I think.
Is it that you were not kind of aware of your peculiarities?
I wasn't just aware. And it happens to most young persons. So many persons will understand the fullness of what God has invested in them at their 50s. I met these young boys in Enugu, these twins, Solomon and Gideon Okeke. They reshaped my life. They were younger. Those boys, I think they are 25 now, 26. So I'm about 8 years or 7 years older than them. But I submit to them. Anybody that is close to me knows that I mention their name in anything I do. I submit to their wisdom. These boys, they just finished their youth service. The places they served in the north, they were pulling companies, pulling weight. What they do, the leadership summit they run in Enugu, even if they choose not to do anything, the contacts they have in Enugu can sustain them for life. Initiatives they are running into millions. This was what they started from secondary school. Wow. Doing great. I'm not advertising anybody, but I'm just trying to share to you how life would have been if what I started doing after my youth service, I discovered it maybe during year 1 in school. I entered school around 29, 210. Imagine if I had started working in the course of my life that I started, implementing maybe around 2018. Imagine if I started moving in that light since 2010. So that is by the way. But again, it's not a regret. I'm just saying it is not. It wasn't possible then, but it's possible for me to do many things now. Now, what I can, update or upgrade in my life now, yes, we that are working in a system, with all due respect, it's beautiful to work in a system because it exposes you. But I am really looking out that at 40 or thereabouts, I shouldn't be working under a system again. What I mean is I'm employed, and at 40, with the kind of capacity God has given to us, at 40 I should be capable of creating labor for people. Creating a system where people can come and work, not to also work for me till they grow old, but to start up, to build, and they can also go their way.
True.
It should be, I think life should be that way. This system our parents ran, that they work for somebody till they grow old, and when they die, there's nothing we are walking into that is their own, that is legacy. The Bible said that a good man liveth inheritance. It didn't mention money. It's not money. It's not about money. If a man dies and leave 1 million naira or 2 million or even 10 million, before burial, before senior brother will take, junior brother will take, even if you leave land, But inheritance, yes, land can even come into that Bible. You talk about inheritance, you create systems. I don't want to talk about physical things only. You can talk about systems. You create systems. The son of Dangote today doesn't need to go and do cement business. There are so many things based on the system the father has already created. There are so many things he can easily walk into. That is even too far. Walk around us. Look around us. There are people that when they are coming out of school, their future is already secure. There are students that went to school till they left school, they didn't even know of anything that is called, for example, NDDC scholarship. They went to school, graduated without ever knowing about it. Because there was no system set in place. I want a situation where I can arrange this life that my children are walking up. They are walking into light. They are walking into patterns and systems that I've been able to use association. I've been able to use my hard work. I've been able to use my prayer life to build a mount for them. Not just my children. Anybody that submits under me, that says I am under you, that person can key into that and fly with it. So it's not even about biological children, it's about anybody that associates with you. And nobody will not want to associate with somebody who has capacity to bring out the better or the best in you at any point in time. That's that about that.
Wow. You spoke so much about system, and I just want you to just throw more light on kind of the importance of it, because I think what we have been saying, you have been highlighting system, and I just feel it's just important for we to know the importance of system.
Okay, why systems are more important and why I pay attention on systems in everything I do is because that is what outstays you. Money may not be able to outstay you. I've seen people that made good money, bought lands, and once sickness hits them, so they have to sell off everything they have. That's why I pay more attention on things that cannot be sold. What I am developing, what I do with people that are my friends, and it's good that we are putting this out. People should see it, church members should see it, friends should see it, family should see it. What I do with anybody that I come in contact with is that I leave something around you that tomorrow you want to relate to this person. You can trust me. You can believe in me. You know that this guy is not out to take what belongs to you. That is what children can grow up to. And this is what is going to help me if I stop working under someone tomorrow and set up anything. It might be a personal business, it can be a training institute, it can be transactional business, buying and selling and whatsoever. Once I set it up, my first customers will be the system I've built. For example, if I set up a laundry outlet in Asaba today, do you think I'm going to lack customers? It's not possible. It's not possible. You even know it's not possible. It's not possible. I will not even cry for. I don't need to put signposts. It's not possible. I have a running system already. People already know that they can leave their resources with me and I can't tamper with it. I'm not stealing from you. You already know.
No.
You already know that I'm careful. I won't destroy your property. You already know. So people can easily say, okay, I got this clothes for 50,000. I got this clothes for 100,000. Take it, go and take care of it and return it. I'm using that as an example. I don't want to do that again.